Welcome to the NASCAR Racing Experience and Mario Andretti Racing Experience. We are excited to have you as part of our crew. The goal of the employee training video is to give you an introductory training course and overview on some duties and responsibilities. Please note, this video is an introduction. You will still be trained on track for each position. First and most importantly, please remember that safety and customer service go hand in hand and are number one. This is extremely important, so please pay close attention to detail throughout this video. NASCAR Racing Experience and Mario Andretti Racing Experience offer a drive or ride in a real NASCAR race car or Indy car on super speedways all around the country. In this job, you will be traveling, so please refer to your company handbook for any rules regarding traveling. A few extremely important rules are the following. No drinking alcohol on or before a track event. This includes the entire company trip, as well as the night before you leave for a trip. This is to ensure that everyone is on their best performance each and every day. This can be a physically demanding job, so hydrate well the night before and eat a good meal. Stay hydrated throughout the day. The company provides bottled water, and you will need to drink at least 1 water per hour to stay hydrated. It is highly recommended to bring Gatorade and sports drinks for yourself each day as well. The company also provides coolers and ice, so label your drinks and feel free to use our coolers. No energy drinks or soda on track days. Energy drinks have been proven to cause health problems when working in these hot conditions. Illegal drug use will not be tolerated during or outside of work. The company does random drug testing, and you will be terminated immediately if caught with or using drugs, or you fail a drug test. Always be on time in the morning to leave the hotel, or if local, then to the racetrack. Tardiness will not be tolerated, and employees will be terminated. Always be professional on pit road. No horseplay, no foul language. Always talk to customers respectfully and politely. Cell phones are not to be out or used during work hours for any reason. The only exception is during breaks. While on pit road, you must always be alert and paying attention to your surroundings. Absolutely no one is to operate a four-wheeler or company vehicle without being on the company-approved list. Four-wheelers are used only to push Indy cars. They are not to be used as a personal vehicle to travel around the facility, to and from the garage, or any other purpose. Four-wheelers must be kept on all 4 tires at all times. Always operate with caution. Refer to the company handbook for all of the four-wheeler and company vehicle rules and guidelines. Always make yourself aware of the pricing of the company's products. Check out the trailer on your free time and be prepared to be asked how much our packages and add-ons cost. This is important to know to help any customer who is inquiring about purchasing any of these items. Always follow the dress code guidelines. It is important to look professional and clean every day. All facial hair must be clean-shaven. No piercings. A company hat is required if you wear a hat. No other hats are permitted. Your hat must be turned face forward and worn correctly. A crew shirt is required and must be tucked in. Only wear solid black shorts or pants with a belt. No shorts or pants are to hang low. No underwear is to be shown. All pants and shorts must be worn at the waist with a belt. Wear comfortable tennis shoes, black preferred. No open-toed shoes. In colder weather, a company sweatshirt is required. No personal jackets or coats can be worn. A company jacket is required. No smoking is allowed while working. If you smoke, you must find the permitted smoking area, which varies at each racetrack. It is your responsibility to find the area where smoking is permitted. There is absolutely no smoking in front of or around customers, and at no time in the garage, around any company equipment, on pit road, or in any company vehicle. Always be polite to customers. Answer questions to the best of your ability, but do not speculate or fabricate an answer. If you're not sure, it is okay to say, "I'm not sure of the answer, but I will check and find out for you." Then ask the supervisor on track. If a customer has a complaint, go to the customer service representative. Be sure that there are no customer complaints ignored. Breaks. The company will provide a light lunch on any day that is 3 or more classes. If you prefer snacks or other food, bring it with you to the track. When first arriving to the racetrack each day, there will be some setup required. Make sure once you're at work, no headphones or earbuds are in, no cell phones, and you must be ready to work. Everyone will need to pitch in and help put up the tents, put ice in the coolers, and stock them with water, as well as clean helmet visors and set up chairs and bicycle fence. Let's start with the check-in process. Each customer has already been sent a confirmation email after booking their reservation, which gives brief directions to the racetrack, where we have signs set up to direct the customers into the parking lot. Always be helpful when seeing a customer who looks like they need direction or may be confused as to where to go. Point to the trailer, let them know where the check-in lines are.
Hi, welcome. Are you driving today?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. I'll need to see your driver's license, please.
Always be polite, enthusiastic, and clearly speaking when checking customers in. Remember that you are the first face they will see representing our company, so let's start the impression off well.
Thank you very much. Now, do you know if you're doing a 5-minute practice or an 8-minute qualifier?
Ask the customer if they're here to drive or ride today. If they're not sure, then search their name throughout the system to find it for them. Remember, they are the customer. It is our job to find out what they are doing and check them in correctly. The customer is not responsible for bringing paperwork to the track. So now we have found the reservation and they are scheduled for a practice drive experience.
I'll need to see your driver's license, please.
Now ask for the customer's driver's license and ask the customer to print, sign, and date the waiver.
Thank you. I'm going to need for you to print, sign, and date.
You must witness the customer signing the waiver. Attach the customer's driver's license to the waiver. It is extremely important to clip the driver's license to the waiver and stack neatly at the end of the check-in for this class. Never lose track of the driver's licenses.
You're scheduled for a 5-minute drive. Are you interested in increasing for another 3 minutes to make it an 8-minute for $120?
Sure.
Awesome.
You will hand the customer a suit, pager, and any photo, video, or ride lanyards they may have in addition to their reservation.
This is the racing suit that I'm going to have you put on. What I want you to do is take your shoes off, put your fire suit on over your clothes, and then you put your shoes back on.
Explain to the customer that they must remove their shoes and unzip the suit entirely before putting the suit on.
I'm going to give you this to put around your neck.
Also, explain what each lanyard is for and explain that the customer will learn about the pager in the classroom.
I see that you don't have our in-car video. Are you interested in purchasing the in-car video today? It's $79.99. It's a GoPro camera. It's mounted on the front dashboard. It looks out while you do your driving.
Yes, that would be great.
It's great. It's great to have a NASCAR party afterwards. You're going to hear an announcement, all people for photos. It'll say double green lanyard. That's what this is for. You're going to meet right over here in the area to have your photo taken.
Okay.
Then you're going to listen. And at 10 minutes till, you're going to hear an announcement. All 8 o'clock drivers. You're going to meet right here.
The pager will not go off when it is time for class. However, the class will be called over the speakers 10 to 15 minutes prior to the class time. So please listen for announcements. Now, let's fast forward to checkout. The customer will head to the checkout line of the trailer, where they will need to turn in their suit. You will hand to the customer's driver's license and graduation certificate. At this point, if the customer has reached 150 miles per hour, a top-selling item is always the 150-mile-an-hour club shirt. Always offer all of the merchandise we have for sale. Make sure no customer leaves without their driver's license. The first step to prepping a customer to drive a race car will be the helmets. As the customers are paged by the helmet cart, they will be headed to the helmet line. Assist them in taking off their pager, handing them earbuds and a head sock, and taping the earbuds into their ears. Make sure you tell them to push their earbuds in as far as they can go so that they can hear clearly. Then visibly size up the customer with a helmet and make sure that the helmet slides over their head with some resistance. Once the helmet is on, make sure that it is secure and not able to slide from side to side. Buckle the helmet, plug the earbuds into the helmet, then plug the helmet into the radio tester at the helmet cart, and ask the customer if they can hear properly. The helmet support will not be put onto the customer until they are at the race car. Ask them to wait in line and tell them they will be assigned to a car shortly. As for ride helmets, use the same procedure except no earbuds. You will remove the ride number lanyard before you put the helmet on. Then put a helmet support around the customer's neck while they are standing in line. Remember, the student line gets the helmet support at the car. The ride line gets the helmet support while in line. This cannot be confused or forgotten. If the customer's ride number says double ride, leave the lanyard on. This way we will remember that the rider has 6 laps instead of 3 laps. A normal ride is 3 laps long. It starts when leaving pit road and ends when coming back to pit road, so the out lap and in lap are part of the ride-along. If the customer has an in-car video lanyard, you will need to insert a USB memory stick into the recorder. Let's go over buckling a customer into a student car. First off, never leave a customer unattended on pit road. Always walk them to and from a race car. Tell them to keep their eyes down pit road until the buckler is ready to have them get into the race car. Once at the car, if the customer has an in-car video lanyard, ask them to insert their USB memory stick into the recorder. You may need to assist them with this if they are not sure how to do so. Make sure you do this before the customer climbs into the car so they can reach the spot where the USB goes. Now, properly Velcro the helmet support around the customer's neck. Before the customer gets into the car, explain to them the correct way to climb into a race car.
Okay, want to go ahead and put your right leg up first, and then your left leg. And then as you climb in, you want to slide in towards the dash. Put your arms down into the car.
On a stock car, stand next to the car, put your right leg up first, and then your left leg. Always stand behind the customer with your hands on their shoulders, supporting them while getting in. Many people can lose their balance. You are there to keep them from falling backwards. If a customer starts to get into a car in the wrong order, putting the left leg up first or head first, stop them. Make sure you explain the correct way so that they don't try to get in and get stuck in the incorrect way.
There you go. Go ahead and sit all the way back. Make sure you can reach the clutch pedal. Go ahead and push the clutch pedal all the way in. All right, good. If they can't get the clutch pedal all the way in, you want to go ahead and get a pad and put the pad behind the person, and then make sure that they can push the clutch pedal all the way in. Also, if you put multiple pads behind, you want to put the steering wheel on before you buckle the person in. Make sure you can get the steering wheel on, that the person's not slid too far forward.
Once on the door of the car, tell them to slide in toward the pedals. Once sitting in the seat, make sure that the customer can reach the pedals comfortably and push the clutch all the way down. If not, place one pad at a time behind the customer until they can reach the clutch. The goal here is the clutch being all the way in with the least amount of pads behind the person's body. Never fold a pad in half behind the person. Always have the pad flat covering the width of the person's back or bottom. If you're having problems with the customer reaching the pedals, or you feel they are too large for that particular car, ask them to hold on for 1 second and get the attention of the pit road supervisor. Let them help you decide if the car is fit for that person. Once they can reach the clutch, buckle the customer in using the 5-point racing harness. The belts must be flat and straight, not twisted. Do not put the lap belts over the top of the seats. The lap belts must be through the loops on the side of the seat so that they are pulling on the body of the person and not the side of the seats. The buckle must be even in the center of the customer's body, not tightened more to one side or the other. Belts must be as tight as you can get them. Let the customer know that it may be uncomfortable while sitting here, but they are tight for your safety, and when on the track they will feel looser as your body is pushed back into the seat. Then put the steering wheel on.
And then we're going to slide the steering wheel on, which is a quick release. So you pull back on the quick release, slide it over the splines, and then pull on the wheel, and then have the customer pull on the wheel as soon as you're done. So go ahead and pull on the wheel for me. And then you want to make sure the push-to-talk is velcroed on the steering wheel securely. Make sure the push-to-talk is in the 2 o'clock position, and that the wheels are actually straight. If the wheels are turned and you put the wheel on straight, you want to reposition the front tires to where the tires are straight, then reclock the steering wheel so that that push-to-talk is still in the 2 o'clock position.
The steering wheel has a quick disconnect steering coupler. Pull back on the release while you put the wheel on. Slide it all the way on until it clicks, then pull back on it. After you pull back, make sure that the customer pulls back as well to check the security of the wheel. Then put the car into first gear. Make sure you wait to put the car into gear until the customer is in the car. Plug the radio in.
So I'm gonna go ahead and hook the radio up now while we're waiting for the other student to come in. Make sure you can hear your instructor, but don't say anything yet. He's talking to his other student. And then once we tested the radio, we're gonna unhook it. And then just go ahead and relax for a few minutes. We'll get you out there in just a second, okay?
Once they say they can hear, unplug the radio and stand with the customer until you hear the checkered flag called. Once the checkered flag is called, plug the radio back in, latch the window net.
When putting the window net up, you want to make sure that it's in the slot back on the front of the car and then at the rear, and then make sure that the window net is latched securely. Move it back and forth to make sure that it's on there and it's in both loops.
Ask the customer to push the clutch in and start the car. Tell the customer to wait. Do not leave until your instructor makes radio contact with you and clears you to leave pit road.
All right. Then once your student's buckled in, you've got the car started, you want to go wait behind the car to wave in the next student.
Then walk behind the car and be ready to wave your next car in before they enter pit road. You must be there to wave the car in as soon as they are on pit road. Make yourself visible by waving your arms widely all the way until your next car is stopped. As for the Indy car, follow the same procedures except for the following differences. Getting into the car, ask the customer to step towards the front of the left side pod with their left foot and swing their right foot into the cockpit of the car, then put their left foot into the car. Again, make sure you are securing the customer by holding their shoulders and arm as you help them into the car. As they settle into the car, ask them to slide forward towards the pedals, putting one shoulder into the cockpit at a time. Have them sit the entire way back. Have the car in gear by pushing the red lever to the rear of the car. Ask them to push the clutch in and rock the car to see if the car rolls with the clutch in. If not, place one pad at a time behind the driver until they can push the clutch all the way down. Again, just like the stock car, the least amount of pads is the goal. If the gap between the back of the customer's head and the headrest on the car is too large, we will have to find a different car for the customer. If in question, ask the pit road supervisor for their opinion. Make sure that the front tires are straight on the car, and then put the steering wheel on with the similar style quick release as the stock car. Make sure to pull on the wheel and have the customer pull on the steering wheel as well to check the security. Make sure that the car is in gear and the ignition switch is flipped up. Stay with the customer until you hear the checkered flag called. Now let's move on to ride car buckling, starting with the stock car. If we are running one ride car, it will require one person buckling. If running two ride cars, then two people will be assigned to the ride line. After you have put the helmet onto the rider, bring one rider at a time over the pit wall. Stay with the person until you see the ride car on pit road. Then walk the person to the other side of the pit stall. Have them stand next to you while you unbuckle the rider and get them out of the car. Then switch riders. Ask the previous customer to wait right next to the car. Explain to the rider to put their left leg up first, then their right leg, and slide into the car. Buckle them into the car. When done buckling, latch the window net, let the ride car leave and walk the customer back to the ride line where you will take off their helmet. During the ride, put helmets on the next couple of riders in line, and take a new rider across the pit wall to get ready for the next round. With an Indy car, one ride car requires 2 bucklers, 2 ride cars require 4 bucklers. The person operating the four-wheeler needs to always park behind the ride car that is in the front of the line and help buckle that car. That way, when it is buckled, they can get on the four-wheeler and push the car off. Remember, everyone helps to put helmets on and take helmets off of customers in between rides. The other 2 people will buckle the car that is in the back of the line. Use the same procedures as the stock car with putting helmets on and bringing one rider at a time over the pit wall. Always help the customer step up onto the ride car stand and into the car as they can lose their balance. Make sure to put the steering wheel onto the rear of the ride car and make sure that it is secure before the four-wheeler pushes the car off. Now that we've gone over buckling a customer into the car safely and correctly, let's go over a few other things on pit road. Racekeeper lanyards. A Racekeeper lanyard means that the customer has purchased an in-car video of their ride-along or driving experience. This is a video facing towards the front of the car, capturing everything that they have encountered during their experience, as well as a small screen facing the driver. Once a customer with a Racekeeper lanyard has received their helmet, they will be given a USB drive to hold on to while waiting in the helmet cart line. When the customer has walked to the car, they will insert their USB drive into the receiver located on the dashboard of the car. Assist them to do this before they get into the race car. The red light should light up once it is inserted. This means that the video is recording. From this point on, do not touch the button on the dash to ensure that the video is recording. After the customer is buckled in and before they take off for their drive, check that the red light is still on, indicating that video is still recording. Once the customer has completed their drive, and after you've gotten them out of the car, have them pull the USB out of the receiver and keep it with them. However, the red light must be off, indicating that the video has completed its recording before pulling the USB out, or it will corrupt the video file. Ride lanyards. Ride numbers will be called out over the speakers throughout the day, 10 at a time. If numbers 1 through 10 are being called, be sure to only take customers with a ride number between 1 and 10 at that time. This is to ensure that the customers who have checked in first ride first. If the customer has a double ride lanyard, they are allowed to go to the front of the ride line when they are ready. Single or double lanyards. These lanyards are referring to photos, a single or double photo plaque. Do not remove these lanyards as they are for the photo person to recognize who has purchased a photo package and to make sure that they have their photo taken. Rain or delays. If it is raining, do not pull out your phone and speculate on what you think the weather is going to do with customers. Always remember that when you speak, you are speaking for the company. If a customer asks what the plan is with inclement weather or any type of delay, ask them to listen closely for announcements and we will inform everyone over the speakers with updates every 15 minutes. Once the last customer is done riding or driving, we still have some work to do to close down and prep for the following track day. The tents will need to be pulled down carefully and packed away, coolers emptied, trash picked up, and chairs straightened up on pit road. Then we will go to the garage, wipe down the cars, and wait for a quick post-day meeting before everyone is released to leave for the day. Now that we've gone over the basics, it's time for you to start your first day on the job. Please ask questions, learn as much as possible, and let's work hard together to get the job done. Stay on task and enjoy your job as you should, working with top-notch race cars at premier racetracks. Be proud of your work and what we do as a company, and the end result will show.